Good evening, race fans. Welcome here to Five Flags Speedway for tonight's Winter Derby preliminary action. We're going to kick it off with the Snowman 50 here this evening. It's the mini stocks at Five Flags. My name's Robert Hill Jr. Joining me up in the booth tonight is Alexander Balderas. Alex, how you doing tonight?
Well, I'm doing good, Robert. How about yourself?
Oh man, I am doing fantastic. Can't wait to get this one underway. It's going to be a great show all night long. We're going to have the mini stocks, the street stocks, and we'll be kicking it, or we'll end the night with the late model stocks as well, as we'll take a look at your starting grid this evening. Rolling off on the pole is going to be Riley Duncan with a pretty blistering time there of an 18.302. Tony Quadros second, Caleb Clinard and Tyler Fody in row number 2, Todd Valdez, Timothy Watson row 3. Row 4 is Ashley Ellison Jr. and Chad J. Frankenfield. Rounding out the top 10, Caleb Pecumer and Chase George.
Going on further, it's
Tyler Skordensky.
There you go. Tyler Skordensky, Caleb Pock. Why'd you give me the hard ones? Caleb Peacock, Dylan Heavier, David Carpenter, Zach Evans, and Jesse Rasmus in the 16th position. Moving on, it's Dustin Durr, Tyler Dixon, Jaden Rasmus, and Joshua Osborne.
That is your top 20. Starting 21st tonight, it's the Rocket Man, Seth Rawls, alongside Mitchell Levere. David Huckleberry and Gavin Higgins round out the top 24, with Robert Smith rounding out the field. 25 cars deep, 50 laps coming up here for the mini stocks at the Five Flag Speedway. Obviously, this is one of those big races that everyone looks forward to every year. It's a chance for the drivers of the Elite Racing League to kick back a little bit and just have some fun in cars that they don't normally get to partake in. And of course, the Real World Snowball Derby just wrapping up not too long ago as well. Alex, what can we look forward to here tonight, especially with these mini stocks at this tight Five Flag Speedway?
Well, they're super small. I know they look small on screen, but they're a lot smaller than you might think. So it's really easy to go side by side and start battling people, and they're pretty tough cars. I've seen a car flip and win across the line at Five Flags. So definitely you can be aggressive with this thing. It's a little floaty, and obviously with those small tires, you're driving on marbles. It's not gonna, it's not gonna be the fastest car around this track, but it is gonna be some fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Nothing's out of the question here tonight. You mentioned a car flipping and winning. We could see that tonight. Obviously, we hope that's not the case, as we're coming to 1 to green this time. By the way, folks, looks like Mitchell Javier and Gavin Higgins will not make the call for the start of tonight's Snowman 50. We'll see if they join the field once we do go green. But once again, Riley Duncan, Tony Quadros going to be on your front row as we're going to get set to go green this time. The pace car will make that turn down towards pit lane and hopefully stay there at least for a little bit. Let's get some good green flag running in as pace cars off. Let's set sail. Let's kick off the Snowman 50 here in the Elite Racing League, and we're underway. Riley Duncan with a great start down towards turn number 1. Tony Quadros trying to clear that 196 and Caleb Clinard down to the inside of Duncan. The battle's on for the top spot.
Almost 3 wide as we enter turn 3. I told you that this racing action was going to be quite tough. These guys are so small. They went 4 wide at a turn 4. They're beaten and they're banging close as we go through now turn 2. It's almost 2 wide, double file all the way back to, I think, about the 15th position. We got a slow car.
Yeah, that's Mitchell Javier. He started back on pit lane. We mentioned he didn't make the call for the start of this one. That's going to create a little bit more difficulty for these drivers as you see a couple fast laps cycling through up there at the top of your screen. Contact. It's going to be Zach Evans that falls all the way back. The Me Fine machine not looking too fine now, as he's going to fall all the way outside the top 20. Made a little bit of contact there with Jesse Racimus not too long ago, but everyone does appear to be a-okay. As we jump back up front, the battle's on for the top spot. Riley Duncan, Todd Valdez, and Caleb Clinard all basically under a blanket here. It's a battle of the 96s between Valdez and Clinard for that second spot, as Timothy Watson trying to work his way up into that fight as well in that 43 car.
That was some good wordplay. I see what you did there with the sponsor. I thought that was quite clever, but I told you, these cars are quite tough. You can see he slammed the outside wall, and while he may be in the back of the field, he is very much still in the race and nearly went 3 wide into turn 1. So these cars can take a beating, and I have no doubts that there will be some beating and banging as these guys try and rub and race hard. But this top 3 has been shuffling around more than ever. Here's the battle in the mid half of the field, and they're still 2 wide. They're not even single file yet, as we've got 2 wide about 4 rows back.
Yeah, this is the battle between Jaden Racimus and Chase George, currently duking it out there for 13th and 14th. George with the advantage on the bottom. That is the Racimus machine. Actually, no, that's Racimus on the bottom, George up top, as they duke it out there back in the midfield. Watching a couple other drivers on the move. There's the Cheaties machine, the 71 of David Carpenter. Took a peek down to the inside of Racimus a moment ago. Now opens up the door for Seth Rawls to take a peek down on the bottom. These guys very tight together. That Shift Esports Seth Rawls Designs number 25 car just ahead of Cale Pocock, as the Abbott Motorsports driver in the 66, currently sitting back in 17th, looks to work his way forward. But let's jump back up to the front here, where it has gone to single file, as we're already 10 laps into this 50-lap dash. Riley Duncan still leads the way from the pole. Todd Valdez up to second. Clinard to third. Fody up to that 4th spot, and Timothy Watson rounding out your top 5. And you can never count out Tyler Fody when it comes to an Elite Racing League event, no matter what it is. He could be racing coolers down the interstate, and he'd still find a way to get up there and win.
Well, you've basically described the street stock here. It's basically a cooler on wheels. It's about the same size, so you might get confused. But they're still going battle. Oh, we got a car around. Caution is out.
Caution flag is displayed here for Jesse Racimus. Let's go ahead and take a peek. We'll see what just happened to bring out caution number 1 of the day.
Well, I can only imagine that it might be a bit of contact between 2 cars. Just a guess.
That's a good guess, actually. Very good guess. Looks like Josh Osborne up on the outs.
Wow. I was wrong.
Wow, you were wrong.
He got loose. But they made contact above him, so I guess I was still right. But,
they did, wow. Yes, but we were wrong.
It's a nasty bump down there. You can see the whole rear end of the car lose it on the right rear end. Just goes not all the way around, but pushes the nose in after it hits the inside wall. So then it kind of finishes the job. But then again, as I was saying, these things are tough as nails. Look, I barely even saw any scratches on his car.
Yeah, I don't think Jesse's really in too bad of a condition here, as we see him working his way around. Nose maybe a little wrinkled in a couple spots there, but otherwise not looking too bad. And Alex, I don't really expect anyone to come down pit road. These guys don't have any additional sets of tires here tonight. There's no need to get any fuel either. So it should really be a race where these guys stay out. And right as I mentioned that, it says Seth Rawls went down pit lane, but I think he just dipped a little low on the racetrack to tease us a little bit there.
Yeah, you could play a bit of a teasing game and say you're going to go down there, but I unless there's extra tire sets, which you said there isn't, I don't think there really is any reason to come down pit road, as we're almost halfway through, just 10 laps short. So far, a quick race as we get ready to head double file once again. The pace car is going to cross the line, but there really is no reason to pit at this point. You're just going to run the rest of the race, and with no additional tire sets, it's all going to be track position based and 1 to green.
Yeah, one lap to green here. Fred has turned those pace lights off on the iRacing.com pace car. Riley Duncan, Todd Valdez going to be row number 1. Caleb Clinard on the inside of row 2 with Tyler Fody to his outside. Timothy Watson and Ashley Ellison Jr. in row 3. Chad Frankenfield, who's been very quiet so far, on the outside of row number 4. Tyler Skordensky there as well. Caleb Becumer and Dylan Avere. That's the rest of your top 10 as we're back underway. Massive stack up back here. And I mentioned Chad was quiet. Well, so was his gas pedal on that restart.
Oh man, you don't have to do him that mean. It was a little late on the start, but I think that's just making fun of a guy who got the wrong end of the stick. But you know, even though there was a stack up, these guys have managed to calm down a bit on the first lap, still side by side. And the midfield always seems to be the most exciting battle. The front, typically the guys pull away, but these guys, they just keep hounding on each other. Look, they're 3 wide already.
Yeah, 3 wide right here. Chase George, Seth Rawls, and Jaden Racimus. That's Racimus, the meat in that sandwich right there. Seth Rawls, that blue 25, and the 24 of Chase George in that fight as well. Up front still, Riley Duncan leading the way in the Sundrop number 97 car. Caleb Clinard holding on to second. Now Tyler Fody up to third, as we are quickly approaching 20 laps into this one. Just a quick run through of the evening tonight. Of course, we kick it off with the Snowman 50 in the mini stocks. Then around 8 o'clock, we're going to have the Santa Claus 50 in the street stocks, and we'll end it with the Snowbash 100 just after 9 p.m. this evening with the late model stocks, all here at the Five Flags Speedway. And we'll be back Thursday for the Elite Winter Derby. That one should be one heck of a good show.
I guarantee it. I'm looking forward to the street stocks because they're basically the bigger brother to this car. But
correct.
You can beat and bang and maybe give someone the bumper a little bit better in the street stock than the mini stock. They don't really go anywhere. Oh, what's he doing down pit road?
Tony Quadros making a visit to pit lane. Not sure what the call is there. But I do want to give a quick shout out to Dave Huckleberry here. He is the executive producer of the Elite Racing Network. Driving the 05. Hey, that's my number. Shout out to Dave. He's very new to iRacing still, very little oval experience, and this was a last-minute decision for him to come out here and take part in this race. So best of luck to Dave, and I figured we'd give him a little bit of TV time at least.
Well, you got to give the guy who makes the TV possible some TV time. I mean, he puts it on, so you might as well see himself on the screen. And I don't think he's doing too bad for a start. I mean, his car looks pretty clean, and for the most part, he's got the line kind of down. So, all props. He's getting used to it.
Yeah, I mean, whoa! Cale Pocock into the outside wall right there, Alex. That could have been a little chaotic.
Well, hey, the other guy didn't hit the wall, so one up.
Why not? That's right. As we see Jaden Racimus engaged in a battle once again. That's Tyler Dixon in car number 79. Little winter theme on that one, like the livery.
It's getting towards those holiday Christmas cheer times, and so some people like to celebrate it on iRacing, and I can never not enjoy a good old winter scheme.
That's right. I mean, we're less than a week away from Christmas right now, Alex. A week from today is Christmas Eve. So
Christmas just a week away.
Right there. Oh no, Tyler. Oh.
It's the Christmas car.
Oh, Tyler, come on now, buddy. We were just talking about you.
I don't know if it's all Christmas joy over there after that.
The Grinch has come on scene here, I think.
You've stolen away his good finishing position.
As we take a look, Tyler Dixon in the 79. There's a 2-car fight. 3-car.
See, there's the contact. I see, wrong car, but you knew something I had the right idea. I knew something was going to happen. It just maybe just a little later.
Just a wee bit. As Tyler Dixon heads into the corner, Jaden Racimus hits that left rear. Chad Frankenfield into the back of him. And that is going to bring out caution number 2 on lap 29. So not too bad, actually, considering it's a smaller track and a car that these guys aren't overly familiar with. And everyone out here racing for a bit of money as well. So
You know, I think it's been a great race so far. We've seen a lot of side-by-side action, and these guys really haven't, like, wrecked all that hard. I don't know if I'd consider the first caution a wreck. I feel like that's our more real first wreck of the race. Yeah, it's a little spin. We just went over the bump a little too hard, and, you know, I feel like that's not too bad. The racing quality among the field has been really, really nice.
Yeah, it's definitely been a pretty good race so far. Not too shabby. Just taking a look through the field. Lights are still on the iRacing.com pace car. Why don't we go ahead and have a quick word here with Tyler Fody, who's sitting up there in that second spot. Hey, Tyler, it's Robert and Alex up in the booth. You get a copy?
Come on.
You're currently sitting there in that second position. What do you got to do to get up there and get by that Riley Duncan machine?
I'll probably hit them. I don't know. These things are driving crazy right now, but I'm kind of screwed on the top. You get out here, it's all over. So we're gonna have to get creative here, running out of laps. So
mini stock, street stock, or late model stock? What are you looking forward to the most here this evening?
All of them.
All right.
This guy's excited to race.
Yeah, best of luck, Tyler. We'll get you back down to the team, buddy. That's Tyler Fody.
Oh, he got a bump.
Oh, no, Tyler.
He stacks up on the restart. Talk about unlucky. He fell back a couple spots. He wasn't lying there about being, you know, maybe out of position on the top. If he muscles past the oh, he's got it. Look, he's back up to third.
Yeah, he's all right. He's up there in the third spot, still battling
Todd
Valdez. Yeah, no issues there for Tyler Fody.
Man, are they four wide back there? I thought I saw a glimpse off of four. They are.
Oh,
no!
Jesse Racibas. Good catch.
What a save! Wow.
Caution flag is out, though, nonetheless.
Oh, no.
Oh,
okay.
man.
I thought our two people that have only brought out cautions were going to bring out a caution after the caution, but they didn't. The caution still came out.
So Jesse Racibas going to be involved in this one again. And that sideways kick out of that 70 machine was the caution. It was just he got hit by Chad.
Yeah, he came down into Chad a little bit. I feel like he just didn't know he was there.
And then
or if so, tried to go further. But, you know, a little jumpy on the caution button. Clearly, they underestimate our field's skill to saving the race car.
That's right. That's right. Let's see if we can have a
He's
word.
learned from his first spin.
Yeah, he definitely has. Let's see if we can have a quick word with Chris Wright, who I believe is our race controller tonight. Hey, Chris, it's Robert and Alex up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you, boys. How we doing?
Good, man. How are you?
Well, a lot more stressed out than it should have been tonight, I think.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but you're the race controller here tonight, right?
Yes, I am.
What are your thoughts on that last incident right there? Did Chad just hook him or what?
Well, they got together in front of Jesse, and Jesse was kind of reacting to that. And he's already gotten an EOL, so we're just going to rule out a racing deal. You know, they had some contact in front of them, thought they were going to wreck. Jesse turned left, so we're not going to do anything with that last accident. But some of the other stuff that's went on tonight was a little bit ridiculous.
And the night's just fresh.
It seems pretty clean. Yeah, the night's just. I think it's been pretty clean so far.
I don't know.
Short track can go. I mean,
I feel like there's been some attacking going on tonight with some of the things people have said.
We don't know what they said. We don't hear the radio, but
yeah.
You better be happy you don't. It was pretty wild up in here.
Was it all, really? I don't know. I feel like these guys are a little more mild-mannered. I can't imagine a brawl happening.
Yeah, it's mild-mannered now. I think we got rid of the problem.
Oh. Well, a bit ominous message there.
But I guess the race has been good. I've been real busy, and hopefully it's good for you guys here as they're getting ready to go green again. And
we're enjoying it up in the booth.
It's exciting to see the finish.
Well, Chris, we'll let you get back to work. Hopefully you're not too busy the rest of the night.
All right, boys. Thanks. Have a good one.
You might be busy. It looks like they're stacking up back there. Tyler Fody doesn't know how to restart tonight here, Alex.
Clearly not, no.
Wow. What a guy.
What a guy. But I'll tell you what, these guys in the middle, they just don't give up.
No, they don't.
Chase George is really trying to make a move on this outside line here, and he's a little high, but he's giving it all he's got.
He's giving it all he's got and all his whole family's got out here. He is absolutely dope.
No.
Caution flag is out once again. And, well, we saw
What a
that
lick.
one. We saw that one
And he's-
happening.
He's only got a couple of wrinkles on his car. These cars might be a brick.
I mean,
you
you
know,
gotta be.
Oh, man.
07
It's not his fault,
machine
but-
of Josh Osborne involved in that one.
He did admit over the radio that it was his fault. He says that it's getting a little crazy.
Man, Chad Frankenfield has been either in or around every wreck so far.
But he's avoided most of them. Like,
Most
you
of
can't
them he
even really
has,
say
yeah.
that. You can't even really say he's been involved in the other wrecks, because, like, yeah, he may have pushed a guy through while the wreck was happening, but he wasn't spun around. There's no damage on his car. He made it through. I think that should count as he making it through.
He's just been in the general vicinity of all of these wrecks so far. Just unfortunate luck there for Chad. Or fortunate, because he hasn't been necessarily involved in most of these.
He's getting warmed up for the rest of the night. You know,
That's
can you
right.
only imagine what's coming next with street stocks and then the what is it, late model stock?
Yeah, late model stocks, which, by the way, as a Canadian, I gotta say, it is weird that you guys call it a late model stock, as Dave Huckleberry gets his first lucky dog, probably the first time ever that he's gotten a lucky dog. So go, Dave. Back on the lead lap.
What do you guys call late model stocks up in
It's just a late
Canadian
model.
land? Oh,
It's just a late model up here, and a super late model, and
you guys don't have the stock?
well, if your car's stock, you're not doing something right.
Well, I mean, you gotta add it in there. I think they add it in just for fun. I don't know
Yeah.
wate the point. These
Yeah,
aren't really
more like,
stock vehicles, if you've noticed.
More like late model gray area.
late model neutral
There
zone.
we go. Yeah, and they usually infract in that neutral zone, that's for sure. But
Yeah.
down on the racetrack, Riley Duncan, Todd Valdez, row 1, Timothy Watson, Tyler Fody, row 2. Fody's going to start on the outside. Does he get a good restart for once here tonight? We'll see. Caleb Clinard, Tyler Skordensky, Dustin Dewar into the top 10, Seth Rawls, Dylan Avere, and Ashley Ellison all up here as well as we get back to the green flag, and the answer is no.
Well, I mean, at
slow
least he
start
was
for
awake
Fody.
this time. At least he was awake this time. He didn't have to get a bump to get going. But
That's true.
He's currently still stuck on the outside, and he's losing a couple spots. These cautions obviously not being to his hand. But, with just just 5 laps. Oh, and what a save from the 32. Oh, and there they go.
There goes Ashley Ellison Jr. around up here. And, well, we mentioned how the race was looking really clean and good. And, well, maybe not no more. As we see this one kick off here, Alex. Just very tight corners.
His left front is destroyed. It's got a bit of a unforeseen wobble to it. If you'll cut live, it's got a great view as he passes the pace car, but it's kind of bouncing up and down right now.
Yeah,
I don't think it's supposed to. Oh, he's gonna miss pit road. Oh man.
And that'll do
And there
it
he
for
goes.
Ashley Ellison Jr. in race
That's
number 1 of the
unfortunate.
night.
Oh man, you hate to see it.
You definitely do. Now, I gotta be honest with you. I don't know that we have green white checkers. I think so.
I heard them say over the radio that we might. So
Might is
holding my
helpful.
breath.
Might
Holding
is
my
helpful.
breath here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Chad just figured out there's a 5th gear in this car.
No.
Well, good on you, Chad. You figured it out.
With 3 to go.
With 3 to go, he figured it out. I wonder
Good job, Chad.
what's he doing? What's he doing upshifting that much under caution? These guys don't have to save fuel. Oh, we do have green white checker.
Yeah,
One
it
of
still
3.
shows 3 to go. There we go.
1 of 3.
So Chad Frankenfield just now realized how this car operates, so that's good. The driver out of
They're
Pennsylvania.
They're having a discussion whether or not fifth gear is the strategy, I don't think it is, if I'm being quite honest.
Well, I'm also going to say, I don't know if figuring out your strategy from 15th place with 3 to go is the move either. It's
Well, hey, you don't know what
interesting.
can happen.
That's
Look,
true.
We got 3 green, white checkers, and we're on the first one. We
That's
still
a
got
good point.
plenty of time.
That's a good point. Anything can happen here. So 1 to green, lights are off on the pace car. Duncan, Valdez, Clinard, Watson, and Dewar now inside the top 5.
Vody's on the bottom this time, so maybe, just maybe, if he anticipates the green flag, he won't end up as he was on the further restarts.
Sleeping again.
Well,
a little bit there.
Maybe we need to work on our reaction time, or maybe
That's
not
right.
start in 5th gear. Maybe these guys, they're too crowded on the 5th gear on the head. Oh, they're 3 wide. Oh,
Dewar
Tyler
and
Fody makes
Fody!
contact with the 32, but he saved it. Oh, I think he's getting turned. Oh no, he's fine. Wow.
White flag in the air. 1 lap to go. Yeah, there we go.
Incredible.
Wow.
Oh, and the 08 scraping the wall. Man, they're in the back of the pack, but
Oh, this is not going to end well. Come to the
Oh,
line.
man.
Victory for Riley Duncan. They smashed, they passed, and wow, Timothy Watson into the inside wall. Of course, Jesse Racines gets involved in one more for good measure as Duncan takes it. Valdez second. Clinard going to come home in third. That was a good start
What a
to
finish.
tonight's race.
David Huckleberry almost made a move at the end. He started getting feisty after the 08 hit the wall, and he saw an opportunity. He didn't really enact on it, though, but
He tried.
he tried.
He thought about it.
Look, if it's the first race of the night, so he's getting better, and it's a genius strategy to sit in the back and see what happens at the front, and then you can just do what they do.
Well, and what a start to the night. A Canadian picking up the victory, so couldn't have asked for better there. As we'll go ahead.
1-0 for you Canadians right now.
1-0, that's right. Move over, America. We got this. Riley Duncan takes the win over Todd Valdez and Caleb Clinard. Timothy Watson comes home fourth. Tyler Fody fifth. Seth Rawls, Tyler Skordensky, Caleb Pecumer, Dustin Dewar, and Dylan Javier going to be your top 10. Now take us through to 20th there, Mr. Balderas.
Well, it's Zach Evans and David Carpenter rounding out from 11th to 12th. Jesse Racines and Caleb Pocock. Next is Chad Frankenfield. He stayed in 15th. Maybe the 5th gear wasn't the boost he needed. Tyler Dixon followed by Joshua Osborne and Chase George, and then Mitchell Javier rounding at 19th. Robert Smith is in 20th.
The rest of your field, David Huckleberry 21st, Jaden Racines 22nd, Ashley Ellison Jr. 23rd, Tony Quadros and Gavin Higgins, the only 2 that officially DNF'd in this race. We're going to step aside, take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll try to talk to a couple of drivers and see what they thought of the first race of the night. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. It's the Snowman 50 on the Elite Racing Network.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Since 2010, race fans have had one burning question. When will the Xfinity Series return to Worldwide Technology Raceway? You asked, NASCAR delivered. On Saturday, September 6, 2025, the magic is back. The track that launched the legendary careers of Harvick, Busch, Keselowski, Edwards, and Earnhardt Jr. is now ready to write that next chapter. We're going to introduce you to a new crop of future champions and Hall of Famers. And in the process, we'll create more of the greatest moments in racing history. NASCAR Weekend 2025, the NASCAR Cup Series Championship Playoffs, the Confluence Music Festival, and now 250 miles of the NASCAR Xfinity Series. 2 incredible races, 1 challenging track, a 3-day party of epic proportions. Go to www.raceway.com and lock in your weekend racing and camping packages for as little as $20 down.
And we are back here at the Five Flags Speedway, just wrapping up the Snowman 50, and it looks like we do have our winner here tonight. It is none other than Riley Duncan. Let's go ahead and pull him in now. Riley, it's Robert and Alex up in the booth. You get a copy?
Yes, I gotcha.
You kicked off night number 1 of the Elite Winter Derby with a victory here in the Snowman 50. Why don't you walk us through your night, and was it as easy as it looked taking that victory from the top spot?
It was honestly, I was a little bit worried with green light checkers because, well, my tires were starting to go bad, to be honest. I was driving it pretty hard, but luckily I was able to get away from the guy there in second place, Todd. But yeah, I'm happy. Can't ask for more.
Now, looking ahead to the rest of the evening, we're going to head to the Santa Claus 50 in the street stocks, and then the Snowbash 100 in the late model stocks. Are you here for both of those races as well? And do you have one of those circled on the calendar as one that you really feel like you have a good shot at backing this victory up with another one?
Well, I would like to get, honestly, both of them if I can, but we'll see what I can do. There's a lot of good drivers in here, so just gonna hope for the best, really. But yes, I'll be here for both.
Well, Alex, I'm going to throw it over to you for any questions, but just take note. This is 1 for Canada, 0 for the U.S.
I was gonna say my question's not much about the overall aspect of the race because Robert really nailed it home there. Riley, could you say A for me real quick?
A.
There you go. See, I was trying not to giggle, but you've got quite the thick Canadian accent there.
Yeah, I've been told that a couple times.
But you know, what are your? I mean, you said you wanted to win both of the following races, but what do you think your true chances are? Now you've shown yourself in the middle of the mini stocks field. What do you think comes next?
I mean, I'm pretty fast in the street stocks, and I think I'm pretty fast in the late models as well, but we'll see how I stack up.
Well,
but I would like at least to get a top 3 would be nice.
Robert?
Yeah, before we let you go here, Riley, to get set for the street stock race, any shout-outs you want to give?
Sure, yeah, my team, R&M Racing. We'll see my teammate Mason tonight. He's going to be running the late model race, so hopefully we both do well in that, and yeah, that's about it.
Well, congratulations on the victory, and best of luck the rest of the evening, Riley.
Thank you.
It was Riley Duncan, your winner of the Snowman 50. Alex, race number 1 of the week is out of the way. What were your thoughts on that one?
Well, as far as most of the real racing went, it was actually really good. A lot of side-by-side action and not a lot of intentional wrecking. Almost none. There was a lot of accidental towards the end there, but you know, I think Riley sums it up pretty well there. I think it's a boot it.
Oh man, that's just mean. That's just
mean.
It's
not mean. I'm not making fun of him.
Well, no, you're right. You're right. Let's go ahead and talk to Dave Huckleberry. Hey, Dave, it's Robert and Alex up in the booth.
Nope.
You get a coffee? Oh, he left.
Where'd
He
he
doesn't
go?
want to get interviewed.
Where'd he go? Come back.
What a guy. He left. How mean. All right, let's talk to Caleb Pecumer then. Finished 8th in race number 1 of the evening. Hey, Caleb, it's Robert and Alex up in the booth. You got a copy?
Got a copy.
You came home in the 8th position in race number 1 of the evening. What were your thoughts on the mini stock race?
Man, those cars are super fun at this track. It feels like they're just made for the track.
Well, it's definitely the kind of racetrack that these mini stocks do work really well at. Being one of those short tracks, it's kind of fitting. But looking ahead to the rest of the evening, taking a look at both the street stocks and the late model stocks, which one do you think you have a best chance of maybe getting a victory at tonight?
Definitely, it's definitely going to be the late models, I think. I think they might handle a little sportier than these cars. And there's a lot of guys in here that may have some more experience driving some of these stock cars that are a little boatier. I felt a little bit more at home with the mini stock. Yeah, that's the best way I can describe it.
What's your thoughts of that descriptor right there?
I think it sums it up pretty well. I mean, this thing is like a cardboard box with a brick for ballast on wheels, so it kind of makes sense. But overall, I mean, I think it's a fun car. And, you know, Caleb, it seems like you had pretty fun out there. You're in the mid-pack the whole time.
Oh, yeah, it was a blast for sure. We're going to try to do the same thing here, if not better.
You know, I actually do have one more question here, Caleb. Obviously, you're driving for the Lake Norman Motorsports team. Are you going to give the boss man some lessons on restarts between races here? Because I got to be honest, he was pretty bad getting back underway when the green flag came out.
Well, I tell you what, I think that with all his experience in these new next-gen cars with the sequentials, maybe he forgot how to use his left foot for the clutch.
Well, that's definitely a possibility.
Was he starting in 5th gear after Chad made the revelation? Everyone started talking about it.
It may seem like that, but no, I think that clutch pedal just maybe needs a little bit of lubing up.
Well, we'll see what he has here in the street stock race, and we wish you the best of luck, Caleb, as well. We'll see you here shortly in race number 2 of night number 1 of the Elite Winter Derby. Best of luck to you, my friend.
Yep. Thank you, gentlemen.
That was Caleb Pecumer. Guys, we're going to step away real quick. When we come back, we will have race number 2 of tonight's festivities. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in just a couple minutes' time.
What time is it?
That's right.
Hey guys, it's CKS4205, the one and only. The one and only. The one and only. The one and only. The one and only.
years of sellout crowds, 3 years of edge-of-your-seat action, 3 years of jaw-dropping finishes. Worldwide Technology Raceway has rocked the world of NASCAR, and now NASCAR is giving us another reason to celebrate. The 2025 NASCAR Cup Series Championship playoffs are coming Sunday, September 7th, 2025. Just when you thought the racing couldn't get any more intense, now every single lap matters. One wrong move could be the difference between elimination and being crowned the king. The Enjoy Illinois 300, the Confluence Music Festival, the NASCAR Cup Series playoffs, and for the first time in 15 years, the NASCAR Xfinity Series on Saturday, September 6th. Don't be on the outside looking in. See history being made in your own backyard. Go to www.raceway.com for the hottest ticket of the year.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Speedway getting set for race number 2 of the evening. It's the Santa Claus 50. My name's Robert Hill Jr. Alexander Balderas alongside me here this afternoon. Alex, we just wrapped up the mini stocks. Now we're about to step up a gear and get into them street stocks. What are your thoughts on this one?
Well, we saw the smaller little brother of these cars, the mini stock, and now we're on to the older brother. And I think I've always loved the street stock. It's a little more loose in the rear. Oh, I don't think he's having a fun time with the street stock, but I personally do. It's a little looser in the rear end, a little less planted, and moves around a bit more floaty rather than boaty. As forget who coined that term.
Caleb Pecumer.
Yeah, he coined the term boaty in the last interview. But honestly, I think the racing is going to be just as good, if not maybe a little better than what we had maybe the last race. And well, I think we're in for another absolute heater.
Well, speaking of heaters, let's take a look at your starting grid here tonight. It's going to be Riley Duncan on the pole. That was our race 1 winner. Now looking to back it up here in the Santa Claus 50. Tate Lytle going to start on the outside of that row. Tyler Fode and Gavin Higgins in row 2. Brandon Wilkinson and Caleb Pocock in row 3. Row 4, Tyler Skordensky and Seth Rawls. Rounding out the top 10, Timothy Watson and Dylan Javier.
Followed by Chase George in the 11th position, Caleb Clenard and Todd Valdez. Then moving on to Tyler Dixon, Ashley Elson Jr., and Chad Frankenfield, qualified 1 spot below where he finished in the last race. Then Caleb Pecumer, the man who coined the term boaty, Jesse Rasmus, Joshua Osborne, and Zach Evans rounding out the top 20.
The younger of the two Racemi, it's Jaden Racimus going to start 21st, Dustin Dewar 22nd, Dave Carpenter and Mitchell Veer going to make up row number 12, row 13, Robert Smith and Dave Huckleberry. And that is going to wrap up the field. Tony Quadros has made the decision to call it a night. He's packed it up and headed back to the shop. 50 laps in store here for these street stocks once again. And Alex, it's going to be a little bit different than what we saw in the mini stocks, but I don't really see too much variance between the two cars coming up here.
No, there's not going to be much variance. These cars should be a little faster. They have more power. They are a little bigger and a little heavier. They have much bigger tires. Again, overall, just the bigger version of the mini stock. But The racing shouldn't be much different. These guys are still going to be beating and banging. They're going to be side by side a bunch. The racing's going to be really close. Overall, this is going to be set for another absolutely great race.
So Riley Duncan, of course, got the pole in race number 1 and led flag to flag over there. Now moving to the street stocks. He's going to start on the pole once again in the Corvette parts number 97, the Mystery Machine. We'll see what he can do, but he's got a very strong opponent on the outside of row number 1. That is Tate Lytle, multi-time Elite Racing League champion, winner in everything that he's ever raced. That's going to be a guy to keep your eye on here, and just a couple rows behind them as well. That's where you find Brandon Wilkinson driving that number 156 machine. That's on the bottom there of row number 3. This is going to be another guy to keep your eyes on all night long. He is a short track ace. He's involved with late model stock racing in the real world as well, so keep your eyes on that third row with Wilkinson working his way up through the field. Alex, I want to get your opinion here. Who's your pick to win this Santa Claus 50?
Well, if I had to go with a basic pick, it's got to be Riley Duncan. If I had to go with a sleeper, Tyler Fode.
Definitely a solid pick there, Riley Duncan and Tyler Fode. My pick to get the victory is Tate Lytle, who has opted to go way high here. Maybe not opted, but potentially forced, as he's going to fall back there into the 5th position. He's got Tyler Skordensky just behind him as we are underway in this one. Skordensky ran all the way down to the inside there, triggering the pit cones, but all is okay. Riley Duncan leads us on lap number 2. Tyler Fode, Brandon Wilkinson, Gavin Higgins, and Tyler Skordensky, the top 5, as the battle's on between Lytle and Timothy Watson. That's going to be for position number 6. So Lytle has fallen from 2nd to 7th in this opening couple of laps here, Alex.
Yeah, a little bit of falling back, and a lot of people trying to figure out what's the right line to run, but these guys trying to figure it out, as Timothy Watson seemed to have moved to the outside a little. These guys, you can tell that this car is a lot looser than the mini stock, with it being much heavier, and even with the fatter rear tires, it takes a second for the tires to warm up, because I think they're made out of absolute steel. But it takes them a while to warm up, so the first few laps is just kind of sliding around and finding out which line has the best grip for the time. And right now, that's exactly what we're seeing. But Riley Duncan still leads the way with Tyler Fode pounding him down on his rear bumper.
Yeah, Riley Duncan doing a really nice job here off the drop of the green flags. You see the field pretty much single filed out for that front 10. I believe your first side-by-side action really is about here with Caleb Clinard and Cale Pocock. Pocock down there, or up there on the outside, Clinard down on the inside. But you mentioned Tyler Fode. Now he takes a look to the inside of Riley Duncan. Really the first time that Duncan has been under fire here at all this evening, working lap number 6. And Fode stuck the nose underneath there. Duncan closes it off. No real opportunity for Fode to take that machine up there to the top spot. Just behind him is where we find Brandon Wilkinson and Gavin Higgins. Shout out to Gavin Higgins' biggest fan, neighbor Pete, who is not on board that car here in this one, but I'm sure he's tuned in and watching as Tyler Dixon gonna be caught. What a car Tyler Dixon's running there. The Bob Ross machine, as we take a look and see what just happened to bring out caution number 1 here in the Santa Claus 50. You see Caleb
Maybe
Pocock.
Bob Ross can paint us a picture here.
Yeah.
What's going to happen?
Hey, that's a good one. You see Dylan Avere and Caleb Pocock just up the road, but Tyler Dixon going to go around by himself. Oh, that's heavy hit to the inside, and he actually lost to Bob Ross in that incident here.
Oh, God.
Bob Ross has gone missing from the nose of that 79.
Ugh. You hate to see it, but man, I told you it was going to be sliding loose for the first, while, and we're already seen our first casualty to loose off turn 4, and That's about as good as it could be.
Yeah, and unfortunately for Tyler Dixon, he is that casualty to kick off this Santa Claus 50. 10 laps in, 40 to go. Let's take a chance here to speak about a couple more of our partners here at the Elite Racing League, and that includes Blue Egg Marketing. Rev up your business with Blue Egg, your marketing pit crew. Turbocharge your lead generation with experienced drivers that can navigate the competitive track to connecting with your customers. With Blue Egg, you're always in the pole position, leading your brand toward victory lane. Don't spin your wheels, accelerate success with Blue Egg, fueling small businesses to win big. And of course, 4D Racewear, makers of the ultimate sim racing shoes and custom apparel designed for sim racing by sim racers. 4D sim racing shoes are custom engineered to connect racers to the pedals in a way no other racing shoe can, while still providing all the comfort needed for those double and triple stints. Visit 4dracewear.com and check out the original racing gloves for your feet. Always good to have partners here at the Elite Racing League. Of course, we've heard from Worldwide Technology Raceway as well earlier this evening. And now we're hearing from the field as we're back under green here at the Five Flags Speedway. It's Riley Duncan out front. Brandon Wilkinson up to second.
We've got trouble.
Oh, man, four wide.
I thought they wrecked. No, we're good. Still maybe 3 wide, and the field is still together. They're still rocking and rolling, and no one has made any serious or heavy contact yet, and they are racing tough and hard as they come out of turn 2.
Well, as this happens, we have a change for the lead, Mr. Balderas. It's Brandon Wilkinson on the inside, Riley Duncan up top.
What
They're
happened?
battling 1-2 here. Wilkinson got a great restart and now has himself wheel to wheel, door to door, as he's looking for more. Down on the inside, it's Brandon Wilkinson trying to edge out that 97 of Riley Duncan. At the line he will, but Duncan's still right there as well. Timothy Watson now taking a look to the inside. It might turn into a bit of a freight train as they make contact. Wilkinson up into the door of Duncan as they head towards turn number 3.
These guys are absolutely beating and banging, and we're not even halfway in this one. And I'll tell you what, this is the most exciting race we've seen. Oh, and we've got a pile up out of 4.
One of those involved is the 15 of Chad Frankenfield, and Zach Evans going to get collected in this one as well. The Me Fine machine, not too fine no more, as it's Josh Osborne down on the inside, going to get a bit loose, comes up into Frankenfield, clips him, sends him around. The 00 does a great job avoiding that. Dustin Dewar involved. Looks like Dave Carpenter going to be involved. Jesse Racimus also involved as the 6 of Zach Evans gets collected at the last moment and puts us under caution once again here in the Santa Claus 50 at the Five Flags Speedway. As you see, Zach Evans having a quick little bump there with David Huckleberry, who currently sits in position number 22. We have some takers on pit road. Jesse Racimus and Dusty Dewar both making the trip to see their pit crews and get a little bit of damage repair. Chad Frankenfield and Dave Carpenter also down pit lane.
Well, that's our first, one of our biggest wrecks of these couple races so far. Wasn't expecting that to happen. Kind of came out of nowhere, really.
Yeah, it definitely did come out of nowhere. And by the way, based off of the timing of the caution, Riley Duncan has held on to the race lead. So
well,
he
at least
was,
one of my picks is leading.
Yeah, well, that was an easy pick, right? He dominated race number 1. So
Did do that.
Definitely going to be one to watch here in race number 2. Is this Duncan,
I got a better
Wilkinson,
pick,
and
though.
Watson the top? What do you got? Who do you got?
Good old David Huckleberry. He's up to 19th. He's cracked the top 20.
Dave inside the top 20 here. Not too shabby in that 05 Pennzoil machine. Looking pretty good. 1 to green. So no chance to talk to Dave yet, but if he's listening, next caution flag, as long as he's not involved in it, we're going to pull him up and have a quick word about his evening here so far at the Five Flag Speedway. 20 laps in the books 30 laps to go. It's Duncan, Wilkinson, Watson, Fody, and Higgins, the top 5, as we get set to go green once again here in just a moment. The pace car about to make that turn down pit lane. Fred, the pace car driver, does so as we come off turn number 4. Green flags back out, and it's a good jump there by both Duncan and Wilkinson as they go door to door down towards turn number 1 for the first time on this restart.
I'm already hearing a bunch of contact here from the middle of the field, and I'm riding on board with David Huckleberry, and he's taking things slow, but he's already been passed by about 5 people. But it's okay. Oh, and we've got smoke, and we've got trouble harder to the outside wall.
Chase George going to be involved. Mitchell Avere involved as the caution flags displayed once again. Looks like Cale Pocock also going to be involved in this one somehow. Let's take a look and see what just happened to bring us under caution once again. Oof. Looks like the 96 machine sends the 57 around. He's going to come up, get into Cale Pocock, sends Pocock around. That's going to collect Chase George, and Mitch Avere will back this up just a little bit further to see the involvement of George and Avere. So Avere down into George, up into the other Avere as they go into the outside wall. Caution flags out once again, and we are just about to the halfway point. Dave Huckleberry up to the 18th position, Alex. I think it's as good a time as ever.
You know, I was hating about him slowing down, but then he missed all 5 cars on the top of the track.
Let's do it.
Maybe he knows what he's doing. Let's do it.
Dave Huckleberry, it's Robert and Alex in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I hear you, Robert.
You're up to the 18th position. You're one of the biggest movers here so far. What is it about this car that shows that you might be a wheelman on these ovals, Mr. Huck?
Well, I'm just new enough to where I've driven this car recently as I got through my D license and C license, so I'm not entirely foreign to this car, so maybe I'm just staying out of the way enough.
You're looking pretty good. Alex mentioned you slowed a little bit on the restart, but it paid off because you weren't collected in that latest pileup. But what are your thoughts on the evening so far? Obviously, you took part in the mini stock race. We saw you get what is probably your first ever lucky dog in elite competition. And then now you're running inside the top 20 as Dusty beating and banging just ahead of you there with Josh Osborne. But so far, so good.
Yeah, I've been having fun with the Do Good Boys, and just a good fun night of driving some cars I probably shouldn't be driving and probably won't drive much again. So.
Well, Dave, we wish you the best of luck as the white flag's displayed. We're going to go green again next time by.
All right, see ya.
That's Dave Huckleberry. We're going to get him back down to the Do Good Racing channel. Shout out to Dustin Dewar and Michael Goodman, the owners of Do Good. As the pace car's off, Alex, looks like we're getting back to the green flag, and they made contact before they even set off there. Riley Duncan getting up into the side of the Brandon Wilkinson machine. So these guys definitely hungry.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. These guys have been hungry this whole time, and really, they've been beating and banging ever since the mini stocks came about. And honestly, though, the racing has been immaculate. They've been rubbing on each other just enough, and it looks like he might get to him. He tagged him a little, but that is just about as close as you can get it. He's going to turn him. Oh, but he saves it, and the entire field is fine.
Oh, man. That was just about bad right there. Brandon Wilkinson getting into Riley Duncan. That's going to send Duncan back to 5th. And things are getting chaotic here. Tyler Fody throws a block on Caleb Clinard as they battle it out for the 5th spot. And Alex, that bumper might come back into play if Riley Duncan gets a chance to do it.
I have no doubt in my mind that if he gets back up to him, it might be to pay a little respect back. Oh, no! What
Tyler
a save.
Skordensky goes around, and the caution flag's displayed. I don't believe that there was really a need for a caution. Well, he spun out. He did 360, but let's see what happened here.
What happens here.
Seth Rawls and Tyler Skordensky come together. Skordensky gonna go around. We'll take another peek at that one here from the Tyler Skordensky point of view. just along for a ride here. The Rocket Man dives down to the inside. Space runs out, and around goes the 9 of Tyler Skordensky. Nobody else collected, though, so that's a good situation where we don't have additional involvement, but unfortunately for Tyler Skordensky, he is going to fall to the rear of the field with less than 20 laps to go. Riley Duncan, by the way, going to be 5th for this upcoming restart.
The best part about that is that he has no damage on his race car. He got spun around a little bit, but his car looks fairly clean for the most part. So while he may be down, he is not out.
You're definitely right about that. Still in this one for Riley Duncan. A lot of time left to go to get up from that 5th position, so definitely not out of this one yet. Timothy Watson up to 2nd. He's up 7 spots from the start of this race. Doing a nice job here so far. Gavin Higgins up to 3rd. Tyler Fode and Riley Duncan the rest of the top 5, followed by Caleb Clinard, Seth Rawls, Tate Lytle, Todd Valdez, and Ashley Ellison Jr. Your top 10.
It's a pretty competitive top 10. These guys have all been extremely close to each other, even if it has gone green for a while. These guys have really stayed pretty close like glue. And, well, I wonder what's going to happen now that Riley Duncan's back on the bottom, and he's got 1 car to pass on the bottom on that lane before he gets back to that good old... What is that? It's registered as it says the 56 on the car, but what is that? Timothy
That's
Watson
the 156 of Brandon Wilkinson, yes.
Brandon Wilkinson in the 156.
But one thing to keep in mind, Alex, if Riley wants to move Brandon, he could use that 10 car to do it. So
he could. You could absolutely do that, but a good restart for the 156 as he will go off on a tear into the lead. Single file from him and double file the rest of the way.
Now, one thing to keep an eye on here with that restart, Brandon Wilkinson did look like he moved a little bit out of line. There is a lane change rule in place, so we'll keep an eye and see if race control has anything to say about that restart for the 156. But one thing to keep in mind here, Riley Duncan now up to 3rd. I think something's about to kick off here, and it might be the boot of that 97 into the back of that 156.
Well, I can see already right now that he wants to make a move, and he's not thinking twice about it. Got right up to the back bumper of the number 10 and almost got to him, but now the 10 might do his dirty work for him.
Yeah, Gavin Higgins down to the inside of Brandon Wilkinson, coming to just 13 to go this time. Higgins, Wilkinson, and Duncan your top 3, as Gavin Higgins, one of the youngest drivers here in the lead. Oh, Wilkinson up the track as the caution flag is displayed. Tyler Skordensky and Chad Frankenfield involved in this one.
Not again. Come on, Chad. You did so well in the last one.
Somebody else was just in the outside wall right there. Not sure who that was, but we'll take a look and see. Whoa. Dustin Dewar is the car that was in the wall. This started further ahead around Josh Osborne. It looks like
he just said he lost it over the radio. So
Skordensky into the back of Osborne. Gets into Dewar. We're going to back this up again because you see the Tyler Skordensky machine get hooked up the racetrack, and Chad's just going to get collected. Oh my gosh, Jesse Racimus involved in that one too. Chad down on the bottom.
Oh, poor Chad.
Poor Jesse too. He's been caught up in everything. By the way, Alex, look who's going to line up nose to tail right here. Brandon Wilkinson or Riley Duncan.
See, now this is absolutely genius. What if he didn't pass the 10, so this was the case?
Possible.
Because I wonder if he sensed a late caution. We've had a late caution, and he may be lining up to try and maybe hit the bumper, but I'm not saying anything. Also, Chad Frankenfield is complaining about the brakes being steel and the car being hard to stop.
Well, Chad, that's how brakes work. Oh, good old Chad Frankenfield, not having a good night tonight.
You can't hate him that he's frustrated. You really can't.
Oh, gosh, no. You absolutely cannot. I want to have a quick word with Jesse Racimus. He's been caught up in everything tonight. Jesse, it's Robert and Alex in the booth. You got a copy?
Sure do.
You have been caught up in just about everything tonight. 1 to 10, what's the frustration level at in that 70 car?
Not really frustration. It's all for fun right now, so just out there trying to have some fun, but we just keep destroying race cars.
Is the goal now that you've had miserable races in mini stocks and street stocks to go out there and cap it off with a victory in the late model stock?
I'm not so good in the late model stock, but I'm looking forward to Thursday race in the super late model. I have some really good long run pace there if we stay green.
Well, we wish you the best of luck the rest of the evening as we get back underway. We'll get you back down with your team. Good luck.
All right, you too. Thank you.
That was Jesse Racemius. Alex, looks like the restart was fairly clean.
It was. It
So
was
far.
indeed. And, well, you have to keep in mind that maybe he doesn't want to collect the field. You know, we know who he might be after. Here's, oh, we got a spinner on the front stretch. It's the 66 around.
Wow. Okay, so caution again. Caleb Pocock going to be involved in this one. I believe we're going to line those guys up first and third again.
He turned someone under caution. He turned who was that? Ashley Ellison Jr. got spun under caution. Oh, and he's destroyed. Ooh. Wait, there's more to this wreck.
Well, let's take a look and see what happened, why don't we?
He is destroyed. Oh my goodness. And there he is. Jump scare. He was by the...
What's he doing over there? All right, let's back this one up. Ashley Ellison Jr. Was that just a self-spin after the caution? No!
No, definitely not.
That's the 59 of Caleb Pecumer getting into the Ashley Ellison Jr. machine. Ellison definitely does come down, though.
Yeah. The caution's been out for a while by this point, though, so I'm not really sure what's the move here. And it didn't seem hard enough or angry enough to be intentional, so you know, this vexes me.
Man, these guys are having a good old time out here. Unfortunately for Ashley Ellison Jr., it ends with a nose in the wall, which is not usually where you want the nose to go after a good time here at the Five Flags Speedway.
Bob Ross disappeared, and he was on the front nose.
Yeah, Bob Ross, man, poor Bob. Bob's painting pictures up north. Oh.
Yeah, and I don't think is Bob Ross on track? Let me see.
Bob Ross is not on racetrack. Tyler Dixon has called it a night, and this one has been a lot dirtier than the mini stock race, which I kind of expected.
I kind of said it would be.
Yeah, kind of expected that. Riley Duncan, Brandon Wilkinson, Gavin Higgins, Timothy Watson, Caleb Clinner, the top 5, Tyler Fody, Seth Rawls, Tate Lytle, Todd Valdez, and Jaden Racemius, the top 10. Dave Huckleberry up to 15th. Could he get a top 10? We'll find out momentarily as we come back to the green flag. Brandon Wilkinson with a good jump. Riley Duncan up to the high side. We're back on our way.
So far, so good as we make it through turns 1 and 2.
Oh, man, he went for the swing right there.
I don't know. He thought about it. Maybe he was close enough to try and go for something, and now he has to squeeze in battle with the 10 of Gavin Higgins, and this battle is only getting tighter. This outside lane may not be as strong as that inside lane, but Riley is doing everything he can to try and
Gavin
pinch him
just
down.
missed.
But the 10, he just missed him there, and what a finish. Oh, and there they go.
Checkered flag in the air. Brandon Wilkinson going to pick up the Santa Claus 50. Gavin Higgins comes home second. Riley Duncan third, backing up that victory earlier on in the, I forget what that race was called, the Snow something 50.
The Snowman.
There we go, the Snowman 50. Tyler Fody fourth. Timothy Watson going to come home in fifth as Brandon Wilkinson burns it down on the front straightaway. We'll see if we can get a word with him momentarily. But for now, we're going to step aside, have a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll recap the Santa Claus 50 and set the stage for the final race of the evening in the late model stocks. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back on the Elite Racing Network.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Since 2010, race fans have had one burning question. When will the Xfinity Series return to Worldwide Technology Raceway? You asked, NASCAR delivered. On Saturday, September 6, 2025, the magic is back. The track that launched the legendary careers of Harvick, Busch, Keselowski, Edwards, and Earnhardt Jr. is now ready to write that next chapter. We're going to introduce you to a new crop of future champions and Hall of Famers. And in the process, we'll create more of the greatest moments in racing history. NASCAR Weekend 2025, the NASCAR Cup Series Championship Playoffs, the Confluence Music Festival, and now 250 miles of the NASCAR Xfinity Series. 2 incredible races, 1 challenging track, a 3-day party of epic proportions. Go to www.raceway.com and lock in your weekend racing and camping packages for as little as $20 down.
Oh, boy.
And we are back here at the Five Flags Speedway. My name is Robert Hill Jr. Joining me is Alexander Balderas. Alex, we just wrapped up the Santa Claus 50, and that was a wild one.
Yeah, at minimum to say that it was a bit of a wild one there. A lot more beating, bumping, and banging we saw throughout the majority of the field, and it led to kind of a controversial finish as Brandon Wilkinson moves Riley Duncan out of the way to secure the win late in the race.
Yeah, Wilkinson picking up the victory ahead of Gavin Higgins and Riley Duncan. Tyler Fody going to come home fourth ahead of Timothy Watson. Caleb Clinard in sixth. Tate Lytle seventh. Seth Rawls going to bring it home in eighth. Todd Valdez and Jaden Racimus going to round out the top 10. Why don't you take us through to the 20th spot? And hey, special shout out to that 15th place driver.
Special shout out indeed. Zach Evans in 11th with Dustin Durr in the 12th position. Caleb Becumer and Robert Smith. And then Dave with the top 15. Go Dave, right ahead of Chad Frankenfield. And it's Caleb Pocock, Tyler Skordinsky, Ashley Ellison Jr., and Joshua Osborne, rounding out the top 20.
Rounding out the rest of your field, Jesse Racimus 21st, Dylan Javier in 22nd, Chase George in 23rd, Mitch Javier 24th, Dave Carpenter, Tyler Dixon, and Tony Quadros round out the classifications for the Santa Claus 50. And that is going to do it for race number 2 of the afternoon. One race still to come. It's the Snowbash 100. 100 laps in the late model stocks. Going to be coming up around 9 p.m. Eastern time. So Alex and myself will step away for probably about 10-15 minutes. And when we come back, we will have full coverage of the Snowbash 100. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back on the Elite Racing Network.
but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
3 years of sellout crowds, 3 years of edge-of-your-seat action, 3 years of jaw-dropping finishes. Worldwide Technology Raceway has rocked the world of NASCAR, and now NASCAR is giving us another reason to celebrate. The 2025 NASCAR Cup Series Championship playoffs are coming Sunday, September 7th, 2025. Just when you thought the racing couldn't get any more intense, now every single lap matters. One wrong move could be the difference between elimination and being crowned the king. The Enjoy Illinois 300, the Confluence Music Festival, the NASCAR Cup Series playoffs, and for the first time in 15 years, the NASCAR Xfinity Series on Saturday, September 6th. Don't be on the outside looking in. See history being made in your own backyard. Go to www.raceway.com for the hottest ticket of the year.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here to the Five Flag Speedway for the Snowbash 100. My name is Robert Hill Jr. Joining me up here in the booth, as he has all evening long, is Alexander Balderas. Alex, you ready for this one, buddy?
Absolutely. Could not be ready for what essentially is the main event. People they showed up for the mini stocks and the street stocks, but they stayed for the late model stock. As we get ready to go on to tonight's essentially main event, things are going to get heated. Last race, we saw a lot more action than the first, a lot more people getting aggressive and starting to finally use those bumpers. And we may see the pinnacle of it tonight in this final race.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot has built up over the last couple of races here as we get set for the feature event this evening. Qualifying just wrapping up here. Brandon Wilkinson looks to be on the provisional pole with Mason Walter to his outside. We've gained a couple more heavy hitters here in this one, including former eNASCAR Coca-Cola iRacing Series driver Kwame Scott, who has qualified in row number 2. We're going to go ahead and take a look at the starting grid now. Leading us off in the pole, Brandon Wilkinson alongside Mason Walter, as mentioned earlier, Alex Coffey and Kwame Scott in row 2. Riley Duncan, our race 1 winner of the evening, and race 2 aggressor, going to start in 5th. Tate Lytle in 6th. Tyler Fody and Timothy Watson making up row number 4. Row 5, Gavin Higgins and Caleb Pecumer.
Then on to Coop Reed in the 11th position, Jay Connor and Scotty Oliver rounding out the top 13. Dylan Javier and Todd Valdez in 15th. Chase George and Jesse Racimez in 17th. David Carpenter in 18th with Evans and the other Racimez, Jaden Racimez in 20th.
Seth Rawls, Rocket Man, going to start 21st alongside Tyler Skordensky in 22nd. Cale Pocock and Caleb Clinard going to make up row number 12. Row 13 tonight belongs to Victor Pfluger and Chad Frankenfield, Ashley Ellison Jr., and Andrew Rucker, who's making his first start of the night, going to start 28th. Dustin Dewar and Tyler Dixon round out the top 30. It's you.
And then going on. I know. Sorry. We cracked the top 30. We cracked more than 30. This is an odd experience. Michael Javier in the 31st position, then Robert Smith and Sam Boutwell, and then good old Dave Huckleberry in the 34th position, with Scott Crump and Joshua Osborne rounding out the final spots of the grid.
So 36 cars slated to start this one here tonight. Wilkinson and Walter are going to be row number 1. 100 laps on the docket here for the late model stocks. So these guys getting set for what should be a good one here. Alex, why don't we go ahead and make some race picks? We'll let you kick it off.
It's tough to say. It kind of is. We got a wide range of great drivers here in the top, really much a top 10. All these guys have been really close up to the front, if not in the front, in all of the races run tonight. Main pick has to be Riley Duncan. I want him to see and want him to go on a recharge back to the front and maybe get the win that was pretty controversial there in the last race. And then Tyler Fody with another sleeper pick. Hasn't been enough to get over the hump to win tonight. I think this race may be the difference. He starts 7th on the grid.
Pretty solid picks there. I am going to go, my main pick in this Snowbash 100 will come from the pole. It's going to be Brandon Wilkinson looking to back up the race number 2 victory of the evening. And I'm not going to go too far behind. I'm going to double down on an earlier pick, and I'm going to go with Caleb Pecumer in that beautiful number 59 machine as a bit of a sleeper here in the Snowbash 100 as the pace car getting set to turn off this time. Shout out to everyone tuned in over on the YouTube chat. We'll touch base on a couple of those a little bit later on as the green flag is out. We're underway. The Snowbash 100 is live on the Elite Racing Network.
And already we see a lot of action here in the front of the middle of the field. They are still side by side with no chance of moving around. And it's a crazy battle for the lead as Brandon Wilkinson starting to fall back as Mason Walter with the move on the outside. He is clear for the race lead as the caution comes out for the first time.
Wow! You got your flip. Oh my
gosh.
Oh
my, up and over. He's on his roof.
Wow,
and
Caleb Pecumer involved. I believe that was Todd Valdez. Wow.
Oh, man.
It might be easier to tell you who wasn't involved in that latest incident. That was a massive, massive, massive incident here to kick it off.
We got 2 flips.
So it all starts behind Caleb Pecumer. Oh, Caleb going to get hooked off of the Todd Valdez machine. Valdez up the racetrack. Zach Evans involved. Caleb Pocock involved. A couple others involved in this one as well. Not sure who the second car is that went up and over there, but Todd Valdez.
Caleb Pocock goes up and over.
So Caleb Pocock. Yes, you're right. Yeah, Caleb Pocock. Going to go up and over in this one. Zach Evans involved as well. Dave Carpenter going to get a piece. Jaden Racimus going to be involved as well. Caleb Clinard, Victor Pfluger, Zach Evans, Tyler Skordensky, Todd Valdez. Man, a lot of guys involved in this one. And we're going to do it here just because, well, because I said we're going to. So we're going to go in car with Todd Valdez, and just a bit of a trigger warning here. We're about to go up and over behind the wheel of this number 96 machine. There's my pick, Caleb Pecumer right there. It didn't last too long for Mr. Floaty Bodie over there as Valdez goes up and over, man. He's got somebody underneath him right there. He's still steering the thing. He's upside down, looking down at the world, but nonetheless, he's still trying to drive that race car.
He is. And, you know, as a matter of fact, Caleb Pocock got naturally flipped over by the banking, and so he's back on his wheels, and his wheels may be a bit bent, but he is ready to get going.
On board here with Caleb Pocock as, ooh, man, he had nowhere to go. Gets caught underneath. He's kind of wedged up into the air. Goes down. I believe that to be Caleb Pecumer underneath the Cale Pocock machine. Pecumer drives away, and down goes Pocock. Back on the wheels, and he is underway, as you mentioned. Back in this thing is, speaking of being back, we're back on our way. Green flag's out once again. 6 laps in the books, a heck of a lot to go as we're back on our way in the Snowbash 100. And it's a great jump there by Mason Walter. Alex Coffey up to that second spot. He's got the Java juice to work his way past the Brandon Wilkinson machine. Kwame Scott down on the inside as well. There's Riley Duncan, the race 1 winner, looking to get a little bit more out of this as Gavin Higgins up to 6, Tyler Fody, Coop Reed, Tate Lytle, and Timothy Watson inside the top 10 as Kwame Scott side by side with Brandon Wilkinson.
And what an insane start for Mason Walter as he got one of the best restarts we've seen tonight. He was able to clear the car ahead by just about, I'd say about 2/10 of the first lap alone, and is now working that gap up to the higher end of almost a second. Alex Coffey and Brandon Wilkinson have put on a good fight to hold off, but Kwame Scott is showing some early pace as he's doing battle with the 97 of Riley Duncan, but he's on his inside, and he is one of my sleeper picks, hopefully to go on and maybe win this race. A sort of a revenge tour after being kind of shafted away from winning the last race.
Caution
back
flags
again.
out. Yeah, caution again. Victor Pfluger going to be involved in the 80 car. That was a great battle, as you mentioned there, between the Letarte Esports entry of Kwame Scott and our race 1 winner in Riley Duncan. Oh, man. Pfluger goes up, and he's trying to avoid the 05 of Huckleberry and just gets hooked by the 96 machine, which was Caleb Clinard. So Clinard was a lap down and unfortunately involved there with Victor Pfluger. Both drivers going to come down pit road. That right front has definitely seen better days. Well, that whole race car has seen better days for Victor Pfluger.
Obviously, and especially after an incident like that. But you know, it's sort of more of a racing deal, in my opinion. You know, obviously it's the lead car's fault in some degree for reacting a little later to the slower car up ahead. But there's not much he could have done. He tried to get out of the way as much as he could. The car behind him didn't give him all that much room to come down. Just barely clipped off the bumper. That's just really just a miscommunication, and overall there's no malicious intent in that, and there's no real fault to it, but just a racing incident, our second caution of the night.
Yeah, not too shabby there. So far, so good in the Snowbash 100. A couple drivers on the move to point out so far. Mitchell Javier, the biggest mover, up 14 positions on the day. And then we have a whole whack of drivers up 10 positions. Chad Frankenfield, Andrew Rucker, the two best friends, by the way. Sam Batwell, Robert Smith, Dave Huckleberry, and Josh Osborne all up 10 positions. Let's quickly go through the YouTube chat, give a couple shout outs here. Zach Evans was tuned in a little bit earlier on, well behind the wheel in the mini stock, I do believe. Ethan Stanley hanging out in there. Tyler Fody's dipped in a little bit. My good buddy DLB TV, Dustin Bullock, hanging out in the YouTube chat. Cam Romano, neighbor Pete over there, Shay Mitchell, and Kelly Coffey hanging out there as well, cheering on, well, Alex Coffey, our current race leader in car number 26.
Bit of an interesting mix of who we got going on, but obviously we have one of the greats in the chat there of Ethan Stanley.
Yeah, shout out to Stanner, by the way, picked up another Elite Racing League championship last night in the Robilas Photography Grand National Series. Speaking of Robilas Photography, check them out, robilasphoto.com for all your photography needs. As we're under green once again, Alex Coffey with a great jump ahead of Brandon Wilkinson. Wilkinson going to slot in second. Riley Duncan clears Kwame Scott now up to the third spot as the yellow flag's out, and we're still wrecking.
What happened?
I believe, well, I don't believe anything because I have no idea what just happened right there.
Heard it here first, folks. Robert Hill Jr. doesn't believe in anything.
That's right. Yeah, I don't even know. I'm just here. Maybe Zach Evans involved. He's got some decent nose damage. He was involved in an earlier incident, though. Let's take a look here. Had Zach Evans. Oh, there it is.
Oh.
It did not involve Zach Evans, but oh no, Cale Pocock going to be involved in that one. Makes contact with the 16 of Mason Walter. Walter has fallen far in this one, Mr. Balderas. He's all the way back to the 25th position.
I saw he got an EOL, and I was kind of thinking, did he call? He got another EOL. Oof.
Wow.
So the end of the line.
He's going to the end of both lines. He's going to start in the middle of the back. You might as well start upside down at this point.
I mean, technically, he kind of did if you think about it.
True. Dave Carpenter getting the wave around.
He started upside down.
What in the world does it say on the side of that race car?
What manufactures that?
I mean, he's part of the Do Good team, and those guys are pretty wild, so he could be driving a grocery cart at this point. I'm not really sure. A Reliant Robin late model stock of Dave Carpenter.
It's a Jag.
Oh, Jaguar. All right.
No. My mistake. A Shaguar.
A Shaguar? Okay, yeah, that makes more sense.
Shaguar.
That makes more sense for Do Good. So, quick recap of your top 10. Alex Coffey, Brandon Wilkinson, Riley Duncan, Kwame Scott, and Gavin Higgins, the top 5. Coop Reed, Tyler Fody, Timothy Watson, Tate Lytle, and Jay Connor, the top 10. Dylan Avere and Scotty Oliver just outside those first 5 rows. As we come back to the green flag this time, pace cars off, green flags out. We're racing at the 5 Flag Speedway, and Brandon Wilkinson already pushing up a little bit, trying to stop that run of Kwame Scott. Scott gonna hold on the outside lane. He's got Riley Duncan down on the inside. Duncan, of course, still not too happy with Brandon Wilkinson, so watch for that bumper to potentially come into play, and it's not gonna matter. The Rocket Man has gone around, and he's rocketed us back under the caution flag. Once again, Seth Rawls involved in this caution. The neon yellow 25 machine. Oh no.
Oh, Mason Walter, not again.
EOL coming to Mason Walter. Zach Evans involved, as well as Dave
Caleb
Huckleberry.
Pocock again.
Cale Pocock going to pick up a piece of that one, too.
Ugh, rough day. Oh, he's done.
Has he been parked?
He has been parked by race control.
Well, you know what that means here, Mr. Balderas, is it's time to talk to race control.
Oh, man.
Chris Wright. Hey, Chris, it's Robert and Alex in the booth. Is this a good time?
Yeah, shit's going on. I mean, stuff's going on.
But good way to describe it. I'm hearing rumors here. Is this true? Is the 16 being parked?
Yes.
All right, you heard it first. Chris Wright will join us when he has a moment. We'll put him back down in the waiting room for now. So, stuff is going down, as per Chris Wright.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was the word he used, yeah.
Yeah. I can't say anything. Ooh, word from Chad. Word from Chad. And he says he had 2 incidents that were his fault. He is done for the night.
Well, Park Chad too. He got a couple incidents or something going on over there. The kicking the tires 15 machine. Actually, no, he looks okay right now for the first time in quite a while here on preliminary night of the Elite Winter Derby.
Well, it was 2 incidents that he caused.
That's right.
Not that he was a part of. Chad hasn't caused a wreck. He's just been in every single wreck ever.
Hey, shout out to a couple more people hanging out in the YouTube chat. We got Mr. Bojo hanging out over there. Said dramatic input from Chris. Yes, Bojo, I do agree. And our friends at Wilson Racing, Megan and Arthur hanging out watching this one as well. Shout out to you guys. We're back under green. Alex Coffey leads us back to the green flag once again. Brandon Wilkinson in second. Can we stay green, or is a show gonna break out here, as Chris Wright might say?
We're green. We are still green. As Riley Duncan now passes Kwame Scott for that 3rd position, and now back on a charge. Alex Coffey on that outside lane, and Oh.
Oh, no.
And
Oh, he's
Dave gets
back.
a penalty. Oh, and he gives him the bumper. Alex Coffey trying to take back his lead by giving the bumper to Brandon Wilkinson as they continue to battle. All of the while, Riley Duncan continues to catch the both of them.
Oh, man, it just got tight right there between Alex Coffey and Brandon Wilkinson. It's Wilkes up on the high side, Coffey down on the bottom. Having a bit of a shot of espresso here, looking for that race lead. Alex looking for that spot from Brandon. Brandon battling back door to door, wheel to wheel as we come down the front straightaway. 29 laps in the book, 72 laps to go. Seeing a couple drivers losing spots here. Sam Boutwell going to get passed by Robert Smith. Tyler Dixon just up the road as well. We have a battle between Gavin Higgins and Kwame Scott heating up here. It's Higgins on the bottom, Scott up top. Dylan Avere to pit lane. Brandon Wilkinson once again squeezing down on Alex Coffey, just like a French press here as they work their way down the back straightaway. The 23 machine trying to get by that 56. No room to do it as they're still wheel to wheel. Now Alex Coffey clears and looks like stuff's kicking off here, and well, Chad's involved.
Oh, well, it took 32 laps before Chad got and he got involved with the 32. It's so poetic,
Dustin
isn't it?
Dewar involved, Chad Frankfield.
Oh!
Dusty, come on, brother. As
Little
Andrew
heavy
Rucker gets involved as well. Let's take a look at this
little heavy
one.
on the right foot there.
Oh, man.
Oh,
The 32
no.
just
And on-
dusted off that 15 and sent him around.
And the 32 on 32 wrecks Chad Frankenfield
Oh, man.
in turn 3.
He kicked him in the tires, that's for sure. As the 15 goes around, Andrew Rucker
Oh,
gets
man.
collected as well. The bad puns continue, as so do the caution flags. And you know what that means, Alex? As we're under caution, we're going to take a commercial break. We'll be right back here. It's the Snowbash 100, and well, everyone's getting bashed around here on the Elite Racing Network. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
3 years of sellout crowds, 3 years of edge of your seat action, 3 years of jaw-dropping finishes. Worldwide Technology Raceway has rocked the world of NASCAR, and now NASCAR is giving us another reason to celebrate. The 2025 NASCAR Cup Series Championship playoffs are coming Sunday, September 7th, 2025. Just when you thought the racing couldn't get any more intense, now every single lap matters. One wrong move could be the difference between elimination and being crowned the king. The Enjoy Illinois 300, the Confluence Music Festival, the NASCAR Cup Series playoffs, and for the first time in 15 years, the NASCAR Xfinity Series on Saturday, September 6th. Don't be on the outside looking in. See history being made in your own backyard. Go to www.raceway.com for the hottest ticket of the year.
10-4.
And we're back. Well, music can stop now. We've returned. We know it's showtime there, Mr. Tyler Shaw. We don't need you to continue. As coming back to the green flag, Alex Coffey, Brandon Wilkinson lead the way. We're now joined by Chris Wright, who has just had a little snack of some soap for earlier words. But Chris, what are your thoughts on this one so far, and what can you tell us about penalties that have been assessed in the Snowbash 100?
Oh, penalties, we've got them. You know, it's been not as clean as I was hoping it was going to be. And, you know, the last thing we want to do as race control is get involved and make a bunch of calls. And that's where we're at. And unfortunately, the 16 had to get parked.
Rough night for the 16. He was doing so good, and then a few incidents, and down the drain it went.
Well,
Yeah.
oh,
Oh,
there
no!
goes Tate. Chris, you're going to be busy.
Oh, and he
as
tags
the
him
caution
again.
Flags out.
Chris, you got some more work to do, bud.
Poor Chris Wright, man. Well, I was
just to get back to what we were saying, you know, we had the 16 car get his first violation was the lane change.
Uh-oh.
Oof.
And then he got to the back and he didn't want to be back there. So
let's take a quick look at what happened in race control. You can dissect this one for us.
race control has no idea right now. We are lost.
Well, the 56
It
of
was like-
Tate Lytle gets into the back of the 10, and then Looks like the 41, I believe that is Coop Reed.
Yeah, race control's on its hands off on this one. You know, it was real tight there. Tate tried to lift for him. The 41 got into the back of him. Like, we're going to leave that alone. That's just racing. You know, that wasn't anything egregious.
So,
and we're trying to be lenient as race control tonight. Like, I am not wanting to get involved in a lot of these issues, but some of them, you know, are so blatant and so far on that wrong side of being close that you got to.
As you see, Jaden Racimus taking a wave by here. He's going to get himself back on the lead lap. That makes 27 cars currently scored on that lead lap. So,
I will say this, we with all these cautions, we're approaching halfway, boys, and I was told you guys had some popcorn up here. I did not get my popcorn tonight. I thought it was going to be a quick one.
You've had enough snacks today. You were up here having a buffet between races earlier on.
Buffet, I remember that. I don't think I got any kind of buffet. I think I was in a meeting before this race. There's been a lot going on tonight.
You were in something, that's for sure. Alex Coffey leads the way. Brandon Wilkinson second. Riley Duncan third. Kwame Scott up to the fourth spot. Gavin Higgins, shout out neighbor Pete, in fifth. Sixth is Tyler Fody. He's kind of been bad tonight. He hasn't had a chance to get up there and compete for the win. Jay Connor, seventh. Timothy Watson, eighth. Chase George in ninth. And Scotty Oliver gonna round out that top 10 as we're coming back to the green flag. Alex Coffey, he's ready to go as, oh man, things got tight right there between himself and Brandon Wilkinson. We're back underway here at the Five Flag Speedway. Alex Coffey, Brandon Wilkinson, Riley Duncan as they're side by side for second. Bit of contact there between Wilkinson and the Kwame Scott machine. Scott going to clear up to fourth. Higgins now side by side with Fody. The Lake Norman Motorsports entry of Tyler Fody working that high lane, trying to get by Gavin Higgins down on the bottom. Higgins working his way through turns number 3 and 4. Contact sends Connor sideways. The 99 machine now under fire here from Scotty Oliver as Oliver takes a look to the high side. Now he's got Timothy Watson down on the inside of him. Pit stop underway here for Victor Pfluger. That right front has decided it does not want to cooperate. So Pfluger takes it to pit lane, and here comes your battle for the lead. Riley Duncan to the high side. Duncan to the rear end of the Alex Coffey machine. They're battling through turns number 1 and 2. Wilkinson has Scott hot on his heels for that third position as they chase down that top 2. Battle Coffey, Duncan into turns number 3 and 4 this time, quickly approaching the halfway point. Riley Duncan looking for an opportunity to take it to the inside there of Alex Coffey. Coffey closes the door, now running that low lane goes Coffey. Duncan takes a look high, now takes a look low, like a little slow drip in the Coffee machine, trying to work his way to that top spot. Looking at the battle now between Wilkinson and Scott. They welcomed Higgins, Fody, Connor, Oliver, and many others to this fight as well. And just a quick note on a couple of fan favorites throughout the field. Dylan Avere up to that 10th spot. Jesse Racimus currently holding on to 12th. Tate Lytle 14th. Andrew Rucker, that's Chad's favorite driver, currently holding on to 15th. Chad in 17th. Tyler Dixon back to 18th. Coop Reed 19th. Zach Evans up to the 25th position, has some damage from earlier on. Seth Rawls 27th. Dave Huckleberry back in 30th as Chase George going to have an issue here. And the caution flag's out. Alex comes back, and so does the yellow flag.
Oh, maybe I should just go if I'm the bad luck here.
No, you're good luck. Welcome back.
Well,
at the halfway point, by the way.
Oh, cool. Okay.
So Chase George, yeah, it's going to kick out on him. He gathers it up. Jesse Racimus going to get collected in that one. And the caution flag is out once again on lap number 52.
Yikes.
Yeah, yikes indeed. And while we're under caution, I'm going to have a quick word about a few of our sponsors here, including Blue Egg Marketing. Rev up your business with Blue Egg, your marketing pit crew. Turbocharge your lead generation with experienced drivers that can navigate the competitive track to connecting with your customers. With Blue Egg, you're always in the pole position, leading your brand toward victory lane. Don't spin your wheels, accelerate success with Blue Egg, fueling small businesses to win big. And of course, 4D Racewear, makers of the ultimate sim racing shoes and custom apparel designed for sim racing by sim racers. 4D sim racing shoes are custom engineered to connect racers to the pedals in a way no other racing shoe can, while still providing all the comfort needed for those double and triple stints. Daytona 24 is coming up. You're going to have triple stints as well. Check out 4dracewear.com, the original racing gloves for your feet. Back on the racetrack, still under the caution flag here. Lap number 54, so 46 laps to go. Alex Coffey leads the way. Riley Duncan in second. Brandon Wilkinson in third. Kwame Scott fourth. Tyler Fode up to fifth. Gavin Higgins in sixth. Jake Connor seventh. Scotty Oliver, Timothy Watson, and Dylan Avere round out your top 10. Followed by Jesse Racines, Ashley Ellison Jr., Andrew Rucker, Chad Frankenfield, Robert Smith, your top 15. Tyler Dixon in 16th, Coop Reed 17th, Dusty Dewar 18th, Mitch Avere 19th, Sam Boutwell 20th, then it's Josh Osborne, Zach Evans, Chase George, Dave Carpenter, and Jaden Racines rounding out your top 25 and your lead lap cars. Tate Lytle, Seth Rawls, Cale Pocock, Dave Huckleberry, the remaining drivers one or more laps down, still in this event. As the lights are off in the pace car, we're getting set to go green once again, Alexander Balderas.
Well, isn't that a mouthful?
Yes. That it is.
Quite a
As we're
mouthful
green.
as we go back green. And what a great start again by Alex Coffey as he's able to make his way up back to the lead and stay in it. As we've got a nice battle here for second. Riley Duncan and Brandon Wilkinson, and you get yet again going back at it again, and maybe this time we might see some fireworks. He tried to make a move last time, and it didn't quite work. He's on the outside, and I don't know how well that's going to go for him as he stays side by side exiting turn 2.
Still side by side down on the inside. It's Wilkinson. Outside Duncan as they work their way down the front straightaway. Once again, 57 laps in the books. Now there's also a battle a little bit further behind them. That's the Kwame Scott machine. Oh! Tyler Fode up into Riley Duncan. They're going to stay green. Wow. What a job by both of those drivers to collect it. And well.
Oh, and the yellow comes back out again.
Wow. All right.
Oh, my God.
Caution flags out, guys. Maybe the red as well. So they're still dead over here. Bring the hearse.
It's shades of a Walmart parking lot we're seeing right here.
Man, that's Walmart on Black Friday, where you're just trampled down there in the parking lot. This is absolutely chaotic. You see it kick off here, man, and just everyone else piles in. Let's go high above, and your favorite driver, if you're watching this race for them, they're probably in this wreck.
If they're in the mid-pack to lower, then they are probably most definitely.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 cars involved in this wreck. We had 25 on the lead lap, and 14 of them are right there.
Wow.
Jeez. That was quite the incident down there in turn number 4. What that means is we get to do it again, and we get to re-rack and restack this field and get set for yet another restart, which is always fun.
This is true, and like you said, because of how many cars are still in this field, it wasn't a hard wreck, but everyone was in it. So
that's exactly
that
it.
means we can do this wreck again.
Well, we hope not to. What we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and bring in Dusty Dewar for a quick word. Hey, Dusty, is Robert and Alex up in the booth? You got a copy?
Heck yeah, buddy, got a copy. How's it going, boys?
It's going well. You were just collected in the big one here of 5 flags. What did you see out of the front mirror, or out of the front windshield of that number 32 machine?
Pure chaos, and I think it was a 64 of Rucker sideways in front of me. I did a good job staying off of them, but I had Unfortunately, got drilled from behind there, but that's just racing here at short tracks.
That's exactly it. And actually, this is a quick caution. We'll get you back down to the scene. Best of luck. It's Dustin Dewar driving the number 32 machine for Do Good Racing. As we're back underway here, Alex, and another good jump by Alex Coffey, but a good one by Tyler Fody as well.
Yeah, these guys finally going back at it again as Tyler Fody continues to be on that inside lane, and he's able to get up to that second position. Oh, my goodness.
Caution flags out.
Oh, and the 70 goes around after the caution's out.
Wow. All right, so caution flag displayed, guys. We'll take a look and see what just happened to bring out the latest caution here at the 5 Flag Speedway.
Light's not getting any more yellow.
So we're watching Jesse Racines here. This was a little bit, oh man. He gets drilled by the, I believe that to be the 18 machine. Not actually sure who that is.
Yikes.
Was that the 10 of Gavin Higgins?
Well,
yes, it was. I believe it was the 10 of Higgins.
I think it is, yes.
So there was another incident as well. Zach Evans was collected in this one. Let's see how that one kicked off. Andrew Rucker back there. Zach Evans up top. Mitch Javier involved. This is oh wow, there it is. Mitch Javier gets hooked by Chase George. Or does Javier clear himself? Maybe. That was tight. That was tight.
We got to get a different view.
Let's get a different view. How about that?
All right, we might need a slightly different view. So he comes off the bumper. There's someone off-roading it on the side. He comes back down. Oh.
And kablamo. Around he goes. Mitch Javier goes for a ride.
I gotta say that's more on the 17. He kind of bombed it in, split up the track a bit, and while the 58 was pinching him, he did come up and hit him. So, if I had to say, and blame or put responsibility on anyone, I believe that would be the 17.
Yeah, definitely a pretty wild ride right there for a couple of guys, as we are 1 to green. So the one good thing about 5 Flag Speedway is, well, the cautions only last about 5 or 6 seconds, so it's not too shabby. As we're getting set to go green once again, the Alex Coffey machine gonna lead us back to the green flag. And I feel weird saying Alex Coffey machine. Sounds like I'm calling him like a percolator or something.
You know, we have a percolator in my house.
Oh, do you?
Yes.
Are you consuming coffee right now, Mr. Balderas?
Oh, no, I'm not a coffee guy. If I had a warm beverage on a cold night, it'd be a hot chocolate for me.
Oh, look at you. Hot chocolates all around. And passes all around as Wilkinson looking for that top spot on Alex Coffey. 56 down to the inside of the Alex Coffey entry. Coffey on the high side, Wilkinson down on the bottom. Not a lot of space off the corner. 30 laps to go in the Snowbash 100. Of course, tune in Thursday night. I believe it's 7 o'clock Eastern time. Check the YouTube page. It'll tell you. For the Elite Winter Derby. That's the main event of all events.
These guys are just absolutely sending her together. And I fear if Alex Coffey cannot make a try and go back at it and stab it again, he may have just been served decaf by Brandon Wilkinson.
Oh, I see what you did there. I see what you did there, and I like it. As here comes Coffey back down to the inside of Wilkinson. They're going to be door-to-door coming off of turn number 2. Contact between Coffey and Wilkinson. These guys not being too friendly right now.
Well, I think this is just friendly enough. If it continues, it might get a bit more nasty, but so far, tight racing, and everything seems to be all right. These two have been battling so hard this whole race, and in the shadows of this battle is Riley Duncan. He could be the man to go for 2 wins on the night, but he has to play his cards right, and so far he's doing just that by staying right behind the coffee machine and putting his nose to the inside of Brandon Wilkinson. Oh, and he cuts him off! And he sends it right to the inside. He gets to the back bumper of the 26. Sorry. It says it's 26 on track. It is, actually. My bad. The 26 of Alex Coffey. He gives him the bumper. And now the 97 of Riley Duncan pushes him up the track and is barely not so clear. And it's two familiar foes back at the front of the field.
I don't think Duncan's going to be as friendly this time, but we saw Wilkinson grind Coffey away from that race lead. Now Fody to the inside of the 26. That's your battle for the third spot. Door to door, wheel to wheel, looking for more is Tyler Fody, the Lake Norman Motorsports entry, working his way up onto that podium. Is Alex Coffey up on the high side. He's about to open the door up to Timothy Watson as there goes Coffey way up the track, gathers it up. Kwame Scott goes by. Alex Coffey from the lead to sixth in just a matter of moments as we're quickly approaching 20 to go. It's Brandon Wilkinson leading the way ahead of Riley Duncan and Tyler Fody.
I see what you did there, but Alex Coffey has been filtered to the back middle of this top 10. See, I can do it too. He's getting to the back bumper of Kwame, and he might make a move. Kwame scrapes the wall, and he goes to block just ahead of the Alex Coffey machine. But if you look ahead, all of these guys have been playing nice so far. We're just under 20 laps to go, and now the gloves are off.
The gloves are off, and in just a moment, you're going to see some lap traffic coming
Car on
into
the wall.
Dave
That's the
Huckleberry
05.
up into the outside
Dave,
wall.
no.
Oh man, things are getting crazy. Here's the field tries to dive by the Dave Huckleberry machine. Nearly
Dave, get out
contact
of the way.
between Gavin Higgins and Jay Connor. As now Coffey down to the inside, losing more spots. Here comes Jay Connor up in the high lane side by side with Alex Coffey. Less than 20 to go now as they work their way through turns number 3 and 4. Wilkinson has the lead over Riley Duncan by about 5 car lengths now. Duncan gonna try to dive his way through these corners, see what he can do to close it up in the closing laps of this Snowbash 100. And of course, we saw earlier on the bumper was used to move the 97. And in this case, I think the whole race car could get used to move Wilkinson if Duncan has that opportunity.
This is true, but you got to remember, Duncan was snubbed of the win. And so I don't know if he'll want to use his whole car and ruin another chance at winning. Now, he could be really petty and do it, but
he could.
It may come all down to personal decision, which is really what it's going to come down to. He might have it in him. Oh, the yellow's going to come out. The 75 is turned around to the front
this changes
stretch,
everything.
and we will rack him and stack him once again.
Caution flag is out. The Landon
there he
Huffman
goes.
replica machine is that of Tyler Dixon, the Hard Rock Vodka number 75 late model stock. Gets into the outside wall. Chad Frankenfield gets a piece of him as well. Sends Tyler Dixon down into the inside wall, and the caution flag is out with 15 laps to go. It's Brandon Wilkinson and Riley Duncan in row number 1. Tyler Fody gonna restart third now, Alex. And this is his best opportunity he's had all night long. He's just got to get a good restart here.
Absolutely. I mean, he needs the best restart he can, but I have hope. I have faith and I have hope Tyler Fody will see the glorious chance of a win in front of him and take whatever chance he's been given, because he's been given a few, and this is his best chance yet.
It'll be interesting to keep an eye on that number 40 Lake Norman Motorsports entry of Tyler Fody on this upcoming restart. Alex Coffey going to restart on the outside of row number 3. We'll keep our eyes on him as well. Obviously, might be a little too far back at this point unless we get into that cycle of a few cautions stacked on each other here to get back up there and have a chance at this victory. But we'll see what Alex Coffey can do. The bumper could come into play from him. I fully expect the bumper to come into play from Riley Duncan here. Memories last a long time when somebody makes you real mad out there on the racetrack, and Duncan, he's got a list, and at the top of that list is that 56 of Brandon Wilkinson.
I just, I couldn't agree more. And really, with what we've been seeing up front right now, it's going to come down to just they're not going to be nice to each other. at the end of the day, these guys have battled it out, and one got snubbed by wrongdoing of the other. And we may see that favor returned and repaid here in these last 10 laps.
We're going to be at just 11 laps remaining for this upcoming restart. Fred, the pace car driver, makes that turn down towards pit lane as the field comes off of turn number 4. Green flag's back out. We're back underway here at the Five Flag Speedway. It's the Snowbash 100, and Brandon Wilkinson off to a good jump here. Side by side goes Tyler Fody and Riley Duncan. Kwame Scott waiting in the wings. We got somebody real low here, headed down towards turn number 3, and the caution's out again. It's Jaden Racimus involved in this one to put us under caution, and this could very well change quite a bit here in the closing laps of the Snowbash 100.
This
Alex,
changes everything, really.
Absolutely.
This changes everything because now Riley Duncan is going to be starting right behind Brandon Wilkinson on this restart, and Tyler Fody. Oh, what a lick.
Wow.
So the 00 gets up, bumps the 25, and gets shafted by the 07.
Yeah, Josh Osborne hard into the back end of that Jaden Racimus machine. Racimus into the back of Seth Rawls, and that puts us under caution once again in this one, and things are getting pretty sketchy in these closing laps. Let's just take a quick look through. I want to have a quick word with Zach Evans. He's currently sitting back in position number 14. Let's go ahead and bring him up here, and we'll have a chat with the Me Fine entry of Zach Evans. Hey, Zach, it's Robert and Alex up in the booth. You got a copy?
I got a copy, Robert.
You're currently sitting back there in the 14th position. You've not had great luck tonight, been caught up in quite a few incidents, but knocking on the door of that top 10, what do you need to do to get up there and get yourself a solid finish in the Snowbash 100?
I think the only chance at top 10 is just keep missing the wrecks. This car is pretty used up. The tires are pretty used up trying to get back up here. But you know what? We're still here. It's what the old poker saying, as long as you've got a chip in a chair, you've still got a shot. So we'll see if we can get some more short track racing happening, and maybe we can sneak this thing into the top 10.
Now, just ahead of you here on the racetrack, you have two of probably the best friends in the whole world, Chad Frankenfield and Andrew Rucker. Would you be afraid to use the bumper on either of those guys to get by them?
I ain't got enough ponies right now to put the bumper on either of them, but I know if the roles were reversed, they wouldn't be shy about doing the same, so we'll see.
Well, Zach, we'll get you back down to the team. Best of luck in the closing laps.
All right, 10-4, bud.
That was Zach Evans, driver of the number 6 machine. Here, the Me Fine entry. Check out Me Fine, a great charity as we're back underway. Brandon Wilkinson leads the way, and he's got a high-flying Riley Duncan right behind him, getting ready to dunk on that number 156 machine.
And the bad puns continue tonight.
Absolutely. We're 3 hours into this, Alex. We got to have some fun.
We're already having fun. We're watching some fun. This race is absolutely a dream to cover. And right now, these two are playing nice for the time being, but the chances for that are dwindling down as we get to the last 4 laps of this race. And the 97 of Riley Duncan has his bumper all over the back of Brandon Wilkinson. So this is maybe not the finish of this race.
Coming to 3 laps to go. Wilkinson and Duncan working their way towards turns number 1 and 2. It's Wilkinson with the command of the field. Duncan trying to close up to that rear end. He's going to have one shot to use that bumper, and I think it comes after the white flag, just to make sure that no matter what happens, Wilkinson's not going to have too much of an opportunity to get back up there and get him back. By the way, Zach Evans, we just spoke with him. Unfortunately, engine issues pushing him back just a little bit, currently sitting in that 19th spot. Coming to the white flag this time, brought to you by Whiplash Sim Cams. Brandon Wilkinson leads the way. Riley Duncan just behind him as they work their way down the back straightaway for the final time. Don't think Duncan's going to be close enough as they come off turn number 4. Your Snowbash winner is Brandon Wilkinson. Riley Duncan second. Tyler Fody going to round out the podium in third. Kwame Scott fourth. Jay Connor fifth. Alex Coffey, Gavin Higgins, Timothy Watson, Scotty Oliver, and Andrew Rucker gonna round out your top 10. So back to back goes Wilkinson as he takes both the street stocks and the late model stocks here tonight at the Five Flag Speedway.
And this may be, and what I thought it was, this was pretty good play by Riley Duncan. Maybe he was wrong, but he did keep his sportsmanship. And he did not give the bumper to Brandon Wilkinson because if he really wanted to, he was in the realm of being close enough. But at that point, I think he would have wrecked the both of them rather than getting what he really wanted.
Yeah, you're definitely right about that. And there is a cash prize for the most points scored throughout all 4 events this week. As you see the fireworks going off in the background there, Brandon Wilkinson going to do a bit of a quickie victory lap here, the Polish victory lap, if you will. So for Riley Duncan, consistency has definitely been key for him here tonight. He very well should have scored the most points because, of course, Brandon Wilkinson was not here in race number 1 of the evening. So Riley Duncan has a little bit of an advantage. We'll see what he's got Thursday night in the Elite Winter Derby. But Alex, we're going to step aside for one final time here this evening. When we come back, we hope to have a chance to talk with Brandon Wilkinson, Riley Duncan, and Tyler Fody on their podium finishes here in the Snowbash 100. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back on the Elite Racing Network.
Of sellout crowds, 3 years of edge of your seat action, 3 years of jaw-dropping finishes. Worldwide Technology Raceway has rocked the world of NASCAR, and now NASCAR is giving us another reason to celebrate. The 2025 NASCAR Cup Series Championship playoffs are coming Sunday, September 7th, 2025. Just when you thought the racing couldn't get any more intense, now every single lap matters. One wrong move could be the difference between elimination and being crowned the king. The Enjoy Illinois 300, the Confluence Music Festival, the NASCAR Cup Series playoffs, and for the first time in 15 years, the NASCAR Xfinity Series on Saturday, September 6th. Don't be on the outside looking in. See history being made in your own backyard. Go to www.raceway.com for the hottest ticket of the year.
And we are back here at the Five Flag Speedway. Going to go ahead and throw it down to Victory Lane, where our very own Alexander Balderas is standing by with Brandon Wilkinson.
Brandon Wilkinson, 2 wins back to back. How did you do it?
He's just so excited.
He's so excited. He can't believe it. Brandon, are you with us?
Sorry, you guys got me.
2 wins back to back, both in dramatic fashion. Tell us how you did it.
Yeah, honestly, I was pretty confident going into the street stock race, and then I just kind of ran this one for fun and got into practice in there, and I thought we were okay on the long run, but we struggled really, really bad on the short run. So I didn't know how that was going to fare. Obviously, we lost the lead there. I was able to get the pole, which was surprising to me. But yeah, lost the lead and just kind of fell into a mode where I was just trying to be super easy on the tires and plan to make a move at 70 to go. And then, yeah, Alex and I got to race in there. That was crazy for sure. I felt like he was pretty well burnt up there, and my chance was in the window of those 5 laps. And obviously he fell pretty hard after that. And I had quite a bit of tire left, I felt. But it was certainly starting to go away at the end. But it was a dogfight for sure. Yeah, it's really cool. Obviously, the street stock stuff, everyone knows I run a lot of those, and I was pretty confident, and I kind of sucked compared to my standard, and then this one kind of made up for it. I was kind of surprised.
Well, I certainly won to show with 2 wins back to back. But you did prove yourself in the street stock race, even though it may have been a bit controversial with a bump and run with Riley Duncan, who ended up finishing second again in this race. And these 2 wins back-to-back have propelled you pretty good in the points. And will you be participating in Thursday night's race?
Yeah, honestly, that's the only one I care about. I've won that type of race on here twice, and it's always, I won the race last year, and then I won a big one before that 3 years ago. So that race as a short tracker in real life and getting to do this on the sim is really cool. So honestly, that was the only one I cared about. These are more for fun, and we'll switch over here to the Super tomorrow night for some practice, and we'll try to go get him on Thursday.
Well, good practice for Thursday night's event. So far, a wonderful night for you. 2 wins out of the 3 possible races. Well, apart from that, is there anything else you'd like to say, or anyone else you'd like to thank?
Yeah, I just want to thank everybody at the posse. It's a good group of guys. Just a really fun group of short trackers that race in real life, and we have a good time getting on here in the winter. So it just makes it enjoyable, and we make each other better. Thank Epic Media for footing the bill for all the sim racing throughout the winter. Could probably do it without them, but they make it that much better. So thanks to Drew and his team. Just everyone who helps out. You guys for good broadcast, and Chad for always putting on these cool events.
Well, all right, thank you so much, and congratulations on the 2 wins. Best of luck this coming Thursday.
Yep, thank you. We'll see you guys.
And our winner of the night, Brandon Wilkinson, as we move on to the second place driver, Mr. Consistency, Riley Duncan. You come up second again, just a few hundredths short of another win to add on to the night. But a win in 2 second places gives you Mr. Consistency as you head into what is the final event this Thursday evening. But how has tonight gone for you, do you think?
It went pretty good. I think I got black flagged in the second race or something. They said that I jumped that last start somehow, but I don't know. I thought I was good myself, but that's in the past. But I'm happy with tonight overall.
With tonight's finishes being so good, you seem really good in the points so far. What are your thoughts about Thursday coming up?
Well, the plan was to try and take home the overall, but I don't think I can. I don't think it's possible for me to do it now because I got black flagged in the street stock race or something by the admin. But I think we'll have a good car for Thursday. I just hope that hopefully we have a lot more green flag laps. I mean, I needed green flag laps there. We just couldn't get none, but I'm happy with the P2.
Well, if you can't go for the overall, you might as well go for the big main prize of Thursday night. And it seems that you have some good competition. Brandon said that he has won that style of event a few times before and is hoping to win back again. So you got a familiar foe for Thursday.
Oh yeah, I've raced with Brandon a couple times. He's always fast, and we always see each other a lot in official races and stuff like that. So it should be a close race. I'm pretty good in the supers. In my opinion, I think I'm better in the supers than the other 3 cars we drove tonight, but we'll see.
So high hopes going into Thursday, you say?
Yeah, that's the plan.
All right, well, thank you so much. Congratulations on such a very consistent night in finishes. Is there anything else you'd like to say or anyone else you'd like to thank?
Yeah, I'd like to thank my team, R&M Racing. You know, I know that Mason didn't have the best race there at the late models, but, you know, I've talked to him and hopefully we'll rally back for Thursday.
And congratulations on the win tonight, and hopefully all goes well next Thursday, or this Thursday.
Thank you.
Our second place finisher, Riley Duncan, finishes second, hopes to finish better and maybe go for the win in Thursday night's event. Robert?
Well, Alex, it has been an absolutely phenomenal night of racing here at the Five Flags Speedway, action-packed from start to finish, and each and every one of these races had its own storylines to follow all throughout, and it was absolutely fantastic getting to call it with you. Why don't we get some final thoughts from you before we head off for the final time this evening and look ahead to Thursday night's Elite Winter Derby?
Well, overall, I thought tonight's racing was really, really good. The racing we did have was nice, side-by-side action, and a lot of aggressive battles, too. Everyone was brought their A game here tonight, and everyone showed it there on track. Really good battles all throughout, and 3 really good races overall.
I couldn't agree more with you there. 3 great races here this evening. We want to thank all competitors for joining us here this evening. It was a great field in each and every one of the races, the mini stocks, the street stocks, and the late models. And I also want to remind you that tomorrow night, be sure to tune in right here on the Elite Racing Network as we wrap up the 2024B Elite Racing League season with the Belly Up Sports Cup Series championship race live from Richmond. It's going to be the top 4 battling for the victory. 3 drivers from Lake Norman Motorsports and Matthew Weeks from Pro Edge Racing all going for the title. It's going to be Tyler Fode, Ethan Stanley, and Scott Crump battling with Matthew Weeks for that title. Be sure to tune in at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. David Westergreen and Zach Evans, who we spoke with earlier on, will have the call for that one. Dave Huckleberry, who we also spoke with, will be producing that show. But on behalf of Alexander Balderas, my name is Robert Hill Jr. We thank you for tuning in tonight, and we'll see you Thursday for the Elite Winter Derby. Have a good night, everybody.